Hello and welcome everyone. I'm so glad that you are here. We are meeting here for the tutorial on Python basics. So the entire tutorial will be on Python and the entire Python programming language we will learn together. I hope you have gone through my blog nopythonbytes.blogspot.com and subscribe there. Follow the blog and follow my YouTube channel Tech Talk by Payal Bhattacharjee. So let's start Python basics video 1. As you know that this is prescribed in the CBSE syllabus of class 12 and 11 computer science and informatics practices. This is the logo of Python programming language. Now, what is Python? What are the advantages and disadvantages of Python? That is the Python programming language. What is meant by IDE, Integrated Development Environment, and how to install Python, what are the different modes of Python, how to write a Python program. We will familiarize ourselves with the structure of Python in this particular video. So these are the contents which we are going to learn. Let's get introduced to Python programming language. As I've already said, this is the logo of Python. Now, what is this Python programming language? As you all know that there are several different types of programming languages available in the market. But I feel that Python is among the easiest programming languages which anyone can learn very easily. It's a very playful language, but it has got very distinctive features. It's very powerful. It's a high level language, very interesting to learn. It's a general purpose language with object oriented language features, OOP features, and it is definitely an interpreted language. Why? As you all know that interpreters are used in programming languages like in Java. So here you have interpreter which interprets the Python programming language. So that is why this is a high level interpreted language. Who developed Python? Python is developed by Guido van Rossum in February 1991. Python is also a case sensitive language. That means that uppercase letters and lowercase letters are treated differently. You have to be very precise in using the text or using the characters or commands, or when you are writing a program here, you have to be very careful in using those, because the uppercase letters and the lowercase letters, they are treated differently. So that is why we say that Python is a case sensitive language. Python has its close connections with two programming languages, ABC language and Modula 3. Well, Python was named after the famous BBC comedy show Monty Python's Flying Circus, and from there the name Python was taken. Nothing related to the creator Python. So this is all about a Python programming language. What are the advantages of Python? Now this Python programming language provides a lot of advantage, like it's compact, very easy to use language, simple syntactical rules. It's very programmer friendly, and very less code you have to write. Very small programs will run your big will run your give you a solution to big problems. And definitely it's object oriented language, OOP. It's high level interpreted language. As I've already said, interpreted, that means interpreter is used to convert this high level language to binary level language, that is the machine level language which the system understands. So interpreter is used here. It's free and open source language. Now this is extremely important feature of Python, and that is why Python is one of the most popular languages which is used in the world, because it is free and open source. That means its source code is available and anyone can modify if he or she is willing to change the Python source code. And it is complete and expressive language. It's cross-platform language, and it is a diverse language with wide variety of applications. Now what is this cross-platform language? That is that if a program is made in suppose Windows operating system or in Macintosh, then the same program you can run in a different platform, like in Linux system also. So different platforms are supported. So Python supports different platforms, or you can say different platforms, they support the Python programming language. And Python interpreter is installed in different platforms. So let us see what are the different diversity, the wide applications of Python programming language. First of all, we can develop softwares very easily. We can develop softwares. Web development at the server side can be done using Python programming. Then it is widely used in data analysis and data science, data warehousing and mining, where suppose in an organization, if it wants to see the sales of the last 5 years so that it can predict the next 5 years sales. So this is what data warehousing and mining is, where Python does that deep excavation, like deep analysis, in-depth analysis of the data. And definitely it is also helpful in scientific computing, mathematical applications, and of course in artificial intelligence and robotics. So these are the wide applications which Python supports. Now what are the limitations of Python? Python is slower than many languages because first it is semi-compiled and then it is interpreted, and you know that interpreted languages are a bit slow because one by one each and every statement is interpreted. If there is any error, it will not move further. First you have to remove the error, then only the next line will be interpreted. Now programming language Python has very less libraries, and it has very less number of inbuilt functions, so it needs to import a lot of libraries for working. And it is weak in data type binding. Now data type binding you will learn in the later on videos, well, when we will learn about data types, that a variable can be declared using multiple data types, which is a type mismatch. Like you define a variable as a numeric type, and then again the next you can declare it or define it as a text type. So the different data types it supports, and that makes a bit of limitation for this language. And it is not easily convertible to any programming language because programming in Python needs very less number of statements. For the same program in other languages like C++, they need a strong syntax and a long program, and if you convert it to Python, hardly takes very few lines in compared to other programming languages. So it's not easily convertible. This was all about Python limitation and advantages. So let's move on and see what is IDE. IDE stands for Integrated Development Environment. Now what are IDEs? Let me give you an example before I explain you what is IDE. If I ask you to cook a food, cook any delicious dish, and I ask you to cook it in your drawing room, will you be able to cook it in drawing room without any tools or anything? No, right? You will be needing your kitchen where you have different tools, you have your gas ovens, you have your different spices and different utensils and all the ingredients which you need to cook that particular dish. So in the similar manner, you need an environment where you can prepare or program your software, you can develop your software. So that integrated development environment is a program which is dedicated to software development. It's itself a program, but it's a kind of environment which is helping you in developing your software, that is in creating your own programs. So as the name implies, IDE, they integrate several tools specifically designed for software development, and these tools usually they include an editor which is designed to handle code, then different kinds of tools for building, execution and debugging tools, and some form of source control. So this is what about IDE and the code editors, where you will be writing your codes, that is your programs. Now different kinds of Python interpreters we have is Python Charm IDE, Anaconda distribution for Python IDE, CPython, IronPython, JPython, Jython, PyPy, PythonNet, Stackless Python, a lot of more interpreters are there. These are few of the logos I have given here for doing Python. These are different integrated environment. Now, how to install Python? Simply, you can download Python from its website python.org, www.python.org/downloads. There in the download section, you can see the latest version for Windows or whatever operating system you are using. You can download it for that by choosing the correct platform, that is the operating system. So I've done this for Windows, so download Python 3.8.4, that was the latest version. Then after clicking here, it will be downloaded in your downloads. So you open the downloads of your computer and then see the exe file which is downloaded. Then you click on that and a dialog box will open to install Python. So you just check out whether your system it supports 32-bit or 64-bit, accordingly you choose, and just press install now, and don't forget to tick this checkbox where add Python 3.8 to path. This will help you a lot. Later on I will tell you why we are choosing this. For importing different libraries, you can easily import different libraries if you add this Python path. Otherwise you will have to write the entire path for importing. So better you just tick here and then you press install now, and then it will show you like this: setup progress, installing, and then setup successful, and then close it. So you will be able to see that IDE, this is your IDLE, Integrated Development Learning Environment. So you can open this in your start button also, you will be able to see this. So you can click on there. So as soon as you click on there, the shell will be open and you will be able to see this prompt. So once this prompt comes and it is showing that Python 3.8.4 we have installed, and it's showing you the details of that, and this is the prompt, the three signs which you can see, greater than symbols 3 together. So this is actually prompt, not greater than symbol over here. This is the Python prompt where you can write your code. And for mobiles, you can install Py3 from Play Store, or you can download compiler app. That is also there. I have given that in my videos in my channel, how to download compiler app, and using that compiler app you can run a lot of programming languages which it supports. A lot of programming languages and MySQL, Java, C++, all that you can do using that compiler app. So anyways, so Py3 you can also install. Now let us learn what are the different modes of Python. There are two distinct modes of Python: interactive mode and script mode. Interactive and script. Now let us see what are these. So once you get this Python shell, and this is the prompt where you can start writing your Python code, this is your interactive mode. You can write your programs or codes, simple codes you can write here and you can execute them. But what is script mode? For script mode, what you have to do, you have to open the file menu over here, and you have to press new file, and untitled window will be open. Here you can write your entire program, multiple lines of code, one program that makes your script. So that is why this is known as script mode, where you can write one program where multiple lines are there. So then you have to save the file in the script mode. You have to save the file, and while saving, so like this, save as, while saving you have to give .py extension for the file after the file name, and by default it saves as .py file only, because you are doing here in the Python shell itself. So after saving this, I have written few lines of code in this and now saving that. So after saving, you can run the module. So press this menu, run, and run module, and the shortcut is F5. So you can run the module and you will be able to see the output on the shell itself. Here is the output for the script mode, and this was the output for the interactive mode. Interactive mode output you will be able to see there and then only. Once you write the code in interactive mode, the outputs are shown there and then on the Python shell itself. But in case of script, you have to save the script with .py extension, and its output it will show you on the shell, and it can prompt you for any input also here on the shell itself. Suppose you want to add two numbers, so it will ask you for the numbers. So here it will prompt you on the shell, it will prompt you that enter the numbers. So you will have to enter the numbers, and then again the output will be shown here only. So this is all about the two modes, interactive modes and script mode. Now this is what a structure of a program looks like. This is a comment, hash symbol is there, program to explain the structure of a program. Now comments are non-executable codes. These codes are not executed. These are just for the users or the programmer's convenience. They are not executed at all. They are ignored by the interpreter. Then in your code you may import any library. So import math. According to your program, you can import some libraries and you can define some functions. These are all there later on, and functions is there in class 12 of Python, and later on videos you will learn Python. And then here from your main program starts, where you are declaring certain variables and printing some messages, and you are just checking some values and in if else cases. So these are all individual statements, and these are few expressions which are given. And in Python, please remember that since Python is case sensitive, so when you are writing certain commands or certain thing, so like if this, if you write in capital letters, that is uppercase letters, then this will give you an error. So this what we have learned initially, that Python programming language is case sensitive. So uppercase and lowercase is this. So you have to write it in lowercase. That means you have to write it in small letters itself. And certain conditions are there with the if expression, and there is a gap, and then that this is indentation. So blocks are indented. This you will be learning later on, that what is indentation. So this is your main program, and this is all about the structure of a Python program. So here it is, expressions, any legal combination of symbols that represent a value, statements, any programming instruction that does some work or some actions, and functions, a code that can be executed again and again by calling with the name of the function, like this is the function, and these are the expressions and statements. Blocks and indentations, a group of statements which are part of another statement or a function are called block or code blocks. And indentation is the spaces or the gaps in front of the statements which create the block. So the statements under the same block must be indented at the same level of indentation. Like this one, see, I have written these blocks and indentations, and if you can notice that this particular paragraph I have indented, I've given certain space in front of this. So that means this particular entire thing is inside this blocks and indentation. So this is meant by indentation. So here if you can notice that if num greater than 0, this is the expression, this is the statement, and print positive integer. Now this I have written after certain gap. So this is what indentation is, giving a gap. Or here also giving a gap and then writing, and it automatically takes. Once you learn the practical part of Python, you will see that it automatically takes this gap. So, and comments are the non-executable statements. Here you can see comments. Using hash symbol, the comments are given. Comments can be of two types, single line comment or multi-line comments. Comments are actually not executed in a programming language, in any of the programming language. If you have learned any other programming language like C, C++, Java or anything else, you must have heard this term comment, which is not executed. So they are just given for the ease of the programmer, for the readability of the programmer, for the convenience of the programmer. These are some additional readable information which is given. So single line comments are given using hash. This is a single line comment. This symbol hash is used to write single line comments, and it must be given before starting the comment. And multi-line comments are given in triple quotes. You start with triple quote, single triple quote, and you end with a single triple quote, and in between as many lines you can write. That will make a comment. And multi-line comments can also be written inside double triple quotes. Double quotes if you write thrice. So multi-line comments are useful for detailed additional information, and here you have written it in multiple lines. 4 lines are there for this in triple double quotes, and you are ending the triple double quote over here. But hash single line comment, only 1 line is commented, and this is the only executable statement which I have written in the code, that is print. Otherwise these are not executed, because from here to here all these are comments. So comments which are enclosed in triple quotes or triple apostrophe are called doc strings, and we can use either triple apostrophe or triple quotes to write the doc strings. So let me show you the practical part of doing Python with the 2 modes. So just press start, and you can just write IDLE or maybe Python. So this will be there, your Python app which you're going to open. So see, this is our Python shell. So here is our Python shell, and I hope you all can see better. Or to increase the font, what you can do is go to the options menu, configure IDLE. There you can see size. You can increase the size as much as you like. So let me take 25, so that it is quite big enough. Press apply. Okay, now I hope everything is easily viewable. Now this is your Python prompt. Now here you can write code. So this is your my interactive mode. See, this is the interactive mode which shows the output as soon as you write the command. So I've written print command and I've written the statement which I want to print. So whatever is given inside double quote is shown here in blue. You can see this is my interactive mode, this is the output. So interactive mode, and let's see the script mode. Press file, menu, and go to new file. So your untitled file gets open. You just write anything which you want to print. I'm having some problem with my R key. This is my script mode file. Whatever you write inside print gets printed as it is. Print welcome all. Multiple lines of code you can write here. Now if I want to save, press the file menu, save, or maybe save as, whatever. You just give a name. It is being saved inside your Python 39 folder itself, and by default the save type is Python files only, like .py extension. So just give a file name. Let me give welcome file. So it is welcome file.py. So you may give .py over here, but by default it is going to save it with .py extension itself. So save, and see this welcome file.py, the name has come. That means this particular file, the name of the file is welcome file.py. Now if I want to run this, either you can press F5 on your keyboard, or just press run and run module. So this is showing that the module welcome file.py you are running, and the output is, this is my script mode file, welcome all, and 10 plus 20 is 30. And I can show you the script which so this is my shell where I can see the output, and this is what the script which I have just run. So this is all about the practical part of, you can just close it and you can come back to the shell. This is all the practical part of your Python modes. Finally, Thomas Edison, he has said that our greatest weakness lies in giving up. So do not give up, and the most certain way to succeed is always to try just one more time. So if your program is not running, try it once again and check out. It will definitely run one day or the other. So stay safe, stay aware, stay healthy, and stay alert. Thank you everyone. Thank you for your patient hearing.